How's it going, guys? Anxious Cynic back again, and as always, thanks so much for all the great submissions we got this week. So there wasn't a whole lot of things that I really felt like I could comment on. A lot of you guys, once again, some of you are new, some of you are a little more used to mine-imator, so the quality is going to vary. If you are having problems, I have plenty of tutorials to show you a lot of the basics of mine-imator. One of the ones I keep having to recommend to a lot of people who come in with questions is my Complete Beginner's Guide series. So be sure to check out the playlist if you haven't got all the fundamentals down of mine-imator, and that series will probably, maybe, help you out a little bit. Okay, so one issue that I did see, and I don't know how often you guys plan to use this inventory technique, but anytime you're using a surface, at least, I think I touched on this in the inventory tutorial, but just to remind you guys, when you have a surface, there's kind of like a front and a back to it, and when you render, you can see like one side is generally brighter than the other, and with the way that this is oriented, you can tell that this is probably the back, because it's backwards, right? So this is the front. Not that that's that big of an issue, but even still, when we render, it's inheriting the light of our scene. So what you can do is to go to your color tab and bring its brightness up. And you can bring it up to 100% so it's like not affected by the lighting at all. Or, you know, anywhere in between, whatever works for you. And that's an easy way to help make the, usually the inventory probably isn't meant to be part of the scene, as in lit by the sun or whatever. So you can do that, and that way it makes it have a universal lighting, no matter what your lighting conditions are for your scene. So I thought that might be a little helpful for some of you guys when you're working with surfaces, and in particular, the inventory technique. So I think that's just about it. There's one little note I wanted to run by you guys. There's a couple of things happening here, and it's a little bit late for the next compilation, but for those of you who watch this, I'm not sure, it may be something I'll have to crack down on a bit, but some of you seem to be interested in making animations that kind of don't have anything to do with the compilation, and then you throw in the technique in it, and that's okay if it becomes like a big part of your animation that you're already working on, but this is kind of meant to be animations made specifically for the compilation. I understand maybe some of you guys think it'd be cool to get your animation seen by a larger audience if you don't have an audience for your own channels or whatever, but that's really not what this is meant to be. So going into the future, I may have to kind of crack down on that a bit. I don't want to make this all about rules and things like that. I've really tried to keep this as open form as possible, but I also wanted to be fair, and I don't want, people submitting animations that they've been working on for weeks and, inserting the technique in it somewhere just so it passes, while others are actually just doing it from a week-to-week basis. And again, the whole point of this is for you guys to practice the techniques that I'm showing you, not necessarily just to show off your animation. So hope you guys understand that, and hopefully we can get all this stuff ironed out over time, as I've always said, and we'll see how it goes. So with that said, that's it, and thanks again for all your great submissions, and I will see you next week.